Hey everyone, welcome to this week's show. Nice to be back here. Corey, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. Talk some hockey. Week one, season starts tomorrow. I, for one, am looking forward to this. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Um, here to defend the trophy. You guys see a lot of this, boys. You see a lot of this. In case you forgot, it is the
Oh,
Team Ramrod Championship Tour. It's back. Le Champion has returned. And, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to start getting the season going here.
it hurts having to listen to you, especially since it was to me. But
Yeah.
the
It's a
new
little,
season, time for some redemption.
for your sake, I hope so. I really want my name on this trophy again.
We all do.
Yeah.
Maybe not Daltrey. I'm not sure what he's doing. But
No one knows what he's doing.
yeah.
He's a pretty tight lipped. We have a couple different things to go over today. Because we had nothing else to go over. Like, we need some filler stuff. So Corey's going to tackle a little section there in a bit, talking about some big trades from our first four seasons.
Yes,
And
sir.
no one participated in the power rankings, so we're going to review that. And it's going to be very one-sided in a way because only one person submitted them.
Shane's thoughts.
So this is my opinion. Take it
Critiques
for
by
what it
Corey.
is. Take it for what it is, right? If you're someone who just takes one person's opinion as the end all here, then well, some of you might be in for some rude awakening, but it's fun. Just the fun. This is where I see it. Doesn't mean you will agree.
Like Darlene is not worth a six.
No,
We'll
he's
have
not.
opinions. We'll have opinions.
He's definitely not worth 11 million for a
Hey,
defenseman.
going
Whatever.
through the trades, you traded for him the one season.
Yeah, but I didn't get. I traded him away the one
Oh,
season.
I didn't see that. You traded for him the one season too, though.
No, I didn't trade a six though.
You
I bet.
traded at 11th, I think.
Yeah. Ironically, that's how many millions he's getting right now.
See, starting tomorrow.
All right. So I got my power rankings here. So let's start going through. We'll go through that. I don't have them on screen here. I just have a list beside me. Um, no surprise, I ranked Team Ramrod at number one. No, that's just how I say I'm the defending champ. I go in, I have a good keeper base. I'm gonna always see myself at number one. I assume Corey that you would see a different team at number one.
Yeah, I definitely would see my team there. But
Oh,
it's hard to really argue at this point, right?
with that said, yeah,
With a few teams at least, like you can group teams. I'd say for the most part your grouping was pretty spot on near the top.
I tiered it right. I tiered. I said
Yeah.
these are the ones I think are tier one or A, B, and C, and yeah, for like I said, take it for what it is. With a grain of salt. It's
Yeah.
just my opinion. Number two, I uh I ranked forgot about Dre. I still have respect for Nick's keeper base. He always finds some good gems in the draft. I think his team is going to compete again. Sucks for him about Vasilevsky, but I still think he's uh, a top tier team, and just I like his keeper base better than the others. So,
Yeah, I agree.
any
He
thoughts?
always
Yeah,
he competes, he always grows his team.
yeah. Out of respect to the season you had last year, I did rank you at number three. I thought it can't be overlooked
Yeah.
that you won the league and then made it to the finals, right? So you won the regular
Yeah.
season.
My
You finished
keepers are
top.
are probably not stronger than who's to follow, but yeah. I agree. I think I'd be a little bit further below, though, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair.
But if you look at a team as a whole, I drafted really well in my opinion. I'm very excited to see how my team is. So if you take the full picture, I'd say about there. I don't
That's
I
what I
wouldn't
tried
say
to
I'm a
do.
top team. Yeah.
To clarify, base is kind of on like their keeper base, like how good the GM is, and kind of what they drafted, right? So and what they've done since the draft because it made a difference.
Yeah.
You know, number 4, I put Neil. So it's like my OJ. It's hard to argue with that goaltending duo. So that's
Yeah,
a big factor. Like if they're on, which they should be, he's gonna be a tough
they
team
are.
to beat. So
Yeah.
uh, number 5, I have Fetch Me a Drink. It pains me to do this, but I ranked Dan really high. Um, he had a. It's hard to draft a bad team when you're done by the 10th round, right? Like or ninth round or whatever.
Eighth round.
Yeah. So it's hard to draft a bad team. Um, so
Solid
I'm
keeper base too.
yeah, I think his weakness is
Besides the
his
goalies.
goaltending.
Yep. Besides the goalies. Yep.
They play such a big factor, so I ranked him a little lower based on that. I think again, my opinion, but it's just any of the top like 8 or we'll say it has good teams, right? Like you're making the playoffs. You should
Yeah.
make the
Exactly.
playoffs.
It's competitive too.
Exactly. This one really killed me at number 6, but I did give that to Paulie the goalie. That one really hurt. But he's a regular season team. But I have to do nod and respect because this is power rankings for the regular season.
Yeah, that's so funny. You know what? His goalies are slowly creeping away on him. He hasn't improved them. Ovi's aging, so he has some work to do there, to be honest, with his keeper base. But he always puts up a competitive team, in my opinion.
Needs to inject some youth back into those keepers, I think, just a little bit. I'm not
And
saying
Kreider's
like,
gone now.
yeah, he moved Kreider. Ovi's
We'll
the one
see.
who
We'll
he
see.
needs to move out and get someone young while he can. While Ovi has value, but I've been saying that for a while. Number 7, I put show no Mercer here. I gave Travis some credit. He did make it deep in the playoffs last year. His keeper base is good. Um, his draft was solid, but I think his keeper
Could have been
base.
better.
I think his keeper base is good enough to put him as a playoff team. So that's why I ranked him there.
Yeah. And he's always trying to improve and well, with some of the trades, who knows, but it seems like he
He always intends to improve.
is.
Number 8. So the midway point. This is where we get to essentially the playoff bubble here. I put Pacioretty to Rumble. I probably would have ranked him a lot higher if he still had Hill, but he didn't keep him. He kept Thompson. I can't respect that. So
Yeah, this is when it gets tougher. He always puts up a competitive team though too. I think yeah, he
yeah,
deserves to be in the playoff spot there.
what we call the playoff bubble, right? So number 9, I put the Red Wings. He had a great year last year. It sucks for him. Bergeron retired, so he lost like a keeper there.
Mhm.
His goaltending were amazing last year, the Boston duo, but I don't think they're going to put up those numbers again this year. So I think he's going to slide back or regress a little. Boston's still going to be a good team. They're not going to be terrible goalies, but I felt that it was enough to slide him out onto the playoff bubble picture here at number 9.
Well, I think with the Boston situation, losing your top two centers is a massive gap in your lineup.
Gonna hurt.
I know they're coming off the like record-setting regular season and all that too, but like that's a big hole that they didn't fill.
Yeah, they didn't do
So
anything to fix it either.
yeah.
Like,
And the other thing is with Derek, right? Like, is he gonna even play? Like, is he gonna show up all the
I mean, in
weeks?
February
Like,
he'll be there.
yeah, exactly, right? He's saying he'll be there all season, but
Yeah, I like to believe it.
yeah, I'm hopeful. I'm optimistic.
Number 10, and slide in though, as I have Dahl try the beef. Man, this guy, like he had a good team drafted, and he starts moving guys for no reason. I don't know what you're doing, but as
I'll
long as it
take
works
it.
for you.
It was an uphill battle.
Yeah. Oh, I'm happy that he's going down here because I want to win that bet. Daltrey.
He said he had a
All
better
right.
regular season team than you.
He thinks so. He thinks so.
Ugh.
Team Rocket at number 11. This is the guy who finished dead last year, but I gave him a higher role here because I like what he drafted. He drafted really well. He had some good spots. The only thing that sucks for him is, Kachetkov is just a wasted roster space for him. But I think he's going to compete a lot more this year than he did last year. I think he's going to be better than some of these teams that I'm about to name.
Yep. Yeah, he did a solid job drafting. The goalie situation's the only real question mark, right?
No, I think it's pretty
Bob,
solid with
yeah,
Bobrovsky.
Bobrovsky, as long as he carries the way, and he hasn't been always number one over there, right? So you never really know, especially injury wise too.
They just
So
don't have a number two right now, so
yeah,
they're gonna
yeah,
turn the reins
exactly.
over to, right?
Yep, yep. And then Fleury losing the spot, and Ranta not really doing much in Carolina, right? With Anderson obviously there. They're going
Yeah.
to give him the start. So as long as Bob gets the starts, he's fine. Otherwise, he's scrambling a bit.
I think Flurry will get like 50% at most. Like,
He wasn't getting it last year. He was getting 1 out of 3 at least, like
uh,
minimum.
I
And
think they need to improve
I
that.
have him in one of my leagues, so I know it was hurt. I was hurting with him.
That
I haven't made
sucks.
my move yet.
You hate to
So
see him go out that way for his career, Like,
yeah, he wasn't playing the worst either, but Gustafsson was playing better too. So like it was hard to
yeah, you're
argue
gonna ride
against
the
being
hot
angry.
goalie.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll see how that looks, right?
Number 12, I have the 2023-24 champs. So he thinks they're gonna be a champion. I have him ranked near the bottom of the league. I think his team is trash. Um, but yeah, that's where I ranked them. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he has some work to do. His goalies, it'll be interesting to see, right? Samsonov and Gary, they could do really well for him, but I think he has some improvement to do up front if he wants to really compete and move up. Because I don't disagree. Mark has some work to do.
Yeah. I'm not saying he can't turn it around, but we'll see what happens. 13, I have Hughes, your daddy. So Casey. I don't know. His team could be even way better than that with if Levy really takes off this year, right? Um, but I think he has too many like garbage goaltenders to kind of that he's trying to compete with.
Well, he's securing his Buffalo starts, right? A tandem, which is
Yeah,
it is what it is. And then Mrazek uh, will at least get half the starts in Chicago. It won't be beautiful,
they won't be good starts, but they'll get the starts.
uh, but it'll be interesting if Minnesota's not playing Wallstead, you're going to drop him, right?
He's already
Um,
sent down to the minors, I believe.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So like it'll be how long do you want to wait for him? But otherwise, I think he has a pretty solid team up front. Um, yeah, but I think it's a big question mark in that there.
I think his keeper base is good.
Yep, definitely.
I think his keeper base is good. I think he just needs the hit on a goalie. Um,
Yeah.
that's it.
Let's see how good Buffalo is, right? That'll be interesting to see too. They're expected to rise pretty quickly here, so it's only a matter of time, I'd say.
I think Levy is like a lock. You keep him no matter
Yeah.
what, right? Like he had a plan going into the draft. He drafted number two. He sees the potential. That's what he wants, right? So
Yep.
at 14, I put Lotto Max HQ.
Oh,
So yeah, I just don't. I think his team's good. His goaltending could, I don't know, go either way. But Bedard, I don't think Bedard's gonna be enough to like instantly turn him into a contender. He's gonna have to wait like a couple of years until he really grows, um, into a dominant player. But that's a player worth waiting for, right? So I don't think he's there yet. Again, this is just my opinion. I could be wrong. Could be off.
I
But
think he should be higher up, but the goalie situation with Markstrom, he needs to bounce back. Bennington, you could like it's. I'm surprised he's even a starter still
that's
with
it.
with his like his energy and everything. Talbot
That
was a
was a big
good pickup
factor.
for him though. But Bedard and Eichel and Marner and he has a solid team. It's hard to say. There's a lot of players in teams here that could really go either way, up and down the roster or like the standings here.
That's
It
it.
wouldn't be surprising. So this is one team that I think Kyle could be higher up. But where would you slot him? I don't know.
Yeah. That's it. Some of these guys are probably going to end up way higher than I graded them,
It'll
right?
be fun to watch later in the season.
15, I put Braden. So, yeah, Braden's been pretty active, at least in conversation so far this year. But I just think going in, he had a better keeper base than the team I ranked last. Um,
I don't know what his angle is going to be this year. His goalie situation is
it's terrible,
he has Ottinger, which is
which is great. Great.
valuable, but then he has four other spots right now.
And
The
they're all
young
like
goalie.
AHL backup
Yeah,
or backups, right? Like,
yeah, tougher. Yeah, exactly. So I'm not a huge fan of his depth players up front either. So I think he has some work to do.
I don't think he's going to compete this year, to be honest. I think
It'll be a struggle.
he's trying to better himself long term, which is a great strategy. Sometimes you need that full rebuild, right?
Yep.
The team I ranked at the bottom of the league is Domo.
No
Like
surprises here on your opinion. Let's hear why though. Let's hear why.
he went in with really two real keeper players into the season, I'd say. No one
Kachuk.
else, Kachuk, and I'd say Veg, right? He was a
Yep.
starting goalie, and he
Yep.
moved Veg.
Yep.
The rest of his players, I wouldn't say they're keeper quality players on any other team in the league. Um, and I even included Kyle in there, so you know that means something. Then he goes into the draft with like 6 18 rounders. Like you're already behind the ball. Do I think he's going to be there at the end of the year? He's going to make so many moves. He's going to improve his team, right? But
Yep.
going into the season, I think you came in with the weakest keeper pool and the weakest draft position. So to me, that puts you even below Braden.
Yeah, he picked up Crosby, who could be considered a keeper on a couple teams, I'd say.
Yeah, Crosby was a
That's
good
for sure.
pickup.
Yeah. I don't think his tier two players are bad. He has a bunch of them. His decor is pretty strong. He could use an upgrade on his forwards, in my opinion, and his goalie obviously got rid of Edge, his only real starter.
Yeah.
But besides his San Jose duo, but that's not the team you want the duo of. Or it was Arizona, but yeah, I don't disagree. Like, yeah, he has work to do. That's all.
That's
I
it.
like Chuck. I like some of his players. Definitely would be players I'd be interested in. But you're right, his keepers are not there.
He's going to see you say that. You're going to get 18 trade offers tomorrow.
I'm okay with that. Send him my way.
No, I don't. Again, I don't think this is where everyone's going to finish. Right, this is where I see their teams now. So for those reasons, I put Domo at the bottom. Um, but I
And
just
it's
never
all
get
who you
his
play,
plan.
right? It's all who you play.
That's it.
That's a
Yeah,
lot of it too. So,
matchups matter.
yep.
Well, with that said, if you guys have any comments, go ahead, give me the feedback. I'll listen to it, but you're not going to change my opinion. But again, it's my opinion. Who cares?
Not
But
me.
I'm curious at your opinions. If how accurate you think I was. So give me the feedback in the chat. I'd love to discuss it. Corey, you've been doing some research for us here.
Oh, yeah, I went through some of the trades from the first 4 years of the league to kind of highlight some of the bigger trades I saw. There was a lot of interesting trades, though, I'll say that. It's
Players had different
crazy
value back then too,
how
right? Like,
yeah, and how cheap some deadline deals were. Um,
how our league
like
evolved
like
from there.
like there was like a Daniel and Henrik Sedin for like a 14th rounder, and then like two other players come back the other way for a 13th round. Like it was weird.
Oh my god.
Um, but I'll talk about a lot of the sixth round picks here, some and a lot of goalie movement because I feel like that's where things have been pretty interesting. So there wasn't much to highlight in the first year. Um, I think Burnsies and the boys. I don't know. Is that Braden?
That was Braden.
All right. So this is me and Braden hooking up for a trade. I traded away Brent Burns and Pekka Rinne for Mark Giordano and Tuukka Rask. So Tuukka Rask brought me to a championship that year. So I'd say that trade worked out pretty well for me. But a
I
big
don't like the
goalie
Giordano part, but the
8 years
rest
ago though, right?
8 years ago he was putting up solid numbers in Calgary, right? So
Yeah. Brent Burns with the right wing D tag.
yeah, that was valuable back then.
Yeah, but that's who Braden got. And Rene was not a bad
Rene was
goalie
good.
either, but yeah.
No, Rene put up really good numbers. So
All right,
yeah,
2016. We got Joey trading for Roberto Luongo, sorry, and a sixth round pick and giving away Gibson and a 14th to fuck you, Neil. So I
wow.
think that might be no, Travis wasn't around that early, was it? Who is fuck you, Neil? Oh, that's Kyle's Plums. Plums.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
plums.
it's Plums. I can see the picture. So Joey getting Luongo in a sixth for Gibson in a 14th.
Well, Gibson was
Oh,
a young goalie back then, put up really good numbers.
yeah, he was just solid. And a sixth round pick, but giving up a starting goalie as well. Not the worst trade either way,
Oh, that
right?
was probably when like Luongo and Schneider were battling.
Yeah, it could have been too.
So like giving up on him maybe wasn't the worst idea.
All right, this is an interesting one. Skinny P. I don't remember who he is, but I remember
That
he
was
was
Plumdore's brother.
yeah. And him and Derek hooked up here. Derek got an Anisimov and a sixth round pick for Backlund in a 15th. Who in the right mind is trading a sixth round pick for Backlund?
Is that possibly the trade that got him so upset that he quit the league?
It could be, but he's the one who sent it out.
Was he? Yeah.
Well, sorry, he accepted it at least one or the other,
I think
right?
that was a
Was
big
that the
deal
big?
back then.
Yeah, that was first round pick for Backlund, who's never been more than waiver wire.
Yeah.
Last year was his best year. All right, this is another one with him though, Skinny P. This was earlier in the night. He received a sixth round pick in Blake Wheeler for Shifley and an 11th round pick. So he got the sixth round pick and then he
Yeah.
moved it right away. He hooked up here with just the tip. So I think
Oh,
it's
it's
Nick.
Nick. Yeah.
Yeah. So Nick paid a sixth for Shifley and got rid of Wheeler.
That's not a bad trade.
No. All right. Me and Plum's hooking up here. Um, I paid a seventh rounder for Mike Smith and gave away a tenth in for sorry, a seventh in Verbata for Mike Smith and a tenth. So Mike Smith going cheap. But this was all I think to the trade deadline. Seventh
Oh, it could
rounder
have
for
been.
goalie is not too bad.
Well, goalies weren't always super expensive in our league.
No. Oh, here's one for you.
Inflation.
You and Sean hooking up.
Was that
You you
my
received
Dubnik?
yeah, Dubnik, Komarov, and a 12th for Tavares, Allen, and a seventh. But this is when Allen was the starter though, right?
Yep.
Like he was solidified. But you got Dubnik who you ran on for a while too. And you only traded a seventh for him. And Tavares, but
Yeah. Yeah. I was ready to move on for Tavares.
yeah. And then this was earlier in the day. Um, Sean and Kyle Plumidor. So Plumidor received Luongo in an 11th and traded away Markstrom in a seventh for him to Sean. So Sean got a seventh and Markstrom, which obviously Markstrom was not anything at the point that time for Luongo at 11. So Luongo moving twice there. So he couldn't have been too valuable, right? But
Can't
so we
believe
just
Sean made two trades in a season.
I know that was the second year. All right, then we got Travis entering the league, so you'll see his name pop up a bit more now.
Oh yeah, talk about the Matt Murray trade.
The first one right here, do you remember it?
I remember him venting about it for the last 5 years.
Yeah. Matt Murray. So this was me and him looking up. He traded Claude Giroux and two sixth-round picks for Matt Murray and two 12th-round picks. And we all know how Matt Murray turned out.
Yeah. What really aggravates him is that you moved Giroux at the deadline to me. I believe it was that year for like a ninth or whatever. He just lost his mind.
Well,
In all
earlier in the
fairness,
season,
you opened it up for anyone who wants him. I'm not keeping him. Like,
yeah, and earlier in the season too, I traded for Matt Murray to Kyle Bergeron. So I traded Crawford, Forsberg, and a ninth for Eichel, Murray, and a sixth. So that was a big trade. Get trading for I got a sixth and got Murray, and then Murray landed me two other sixths.
what was your rebuild, eh?
Yeah, yeah, apparently. Another big trade we had was me and Plumdor. So I traded away Rask, Steen. So Rask was obviously the big ticket here. Steen a ninth and 15th. And I got Thomas Grice, Besser, sixth and a 13th. So another sixth round pick. You know, I feel a little biased picking a lot of my trades, but I do trade a lot. So, and then one more here, Travis and Nick. And this is another interesting one. But Travis, right off the bat, trading Landeskog, Kessel in a seventh for Patrick Voracek in a sixth. So just giving up Landeskog for peanuts to Nick, like one of the first trades he makes in our league. I remember that.
It was not good. Good for you, Nick.
Yeah, good on you. I don't blame you taking advantage of him. Travis would do the same to any new guys now. All right. Well, I'm not in any of these. Oh, a bunch of you're in every single one of these. All right, we're on
Oh,
to 2018 now.
that probably was the year that I rebuilt. I was just the one year I'm just like, no, I need to refresh.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of interesting moves here. So first one, you paid Dahan a sixth round pick and a seventh round pick to Kyle Bergeron for Tarasenko, Carlson, and a 16th and a 17th. So two
Well, that was
massive
at
pick upgrades.
oh, so that was like the end of that one season then.
It was in January,
Yeah, yeah. So that's like
early
trade
January.
almost the trade deadline.
Then a week later,
Mhm.
you flip Carlson and Tarasenko back to Kyle for a ninth, 16th, and with a ninth, 16th, and 17th. And then Kyle, and then you got Stastny, Dahan, sixth, a seventh, and an 18th.
I
So
remember that.
you reversed your picks, but he gave you a six for a ninth to get your guys back, to get his guys back.
Yeah.
Because what? Because both, I don't remember what happened. I think they both got hurt or something. Like,
I was pushing for a playoff spot and I made a deal with him that while I would make this deal, the offer and if I kept him for the whole season, I would get I would lose my six or whatever I trade him, right? But if I wanted to reverse it, I get everything back except I give him a ninth.
hmm,
I remember that. It was very
all
specific.
right, yeah, no kidding.
I decided to go into sell mode that season. I'm like, I'm not making the playoffs. Like
Yeah,
I'm
because
just
then you traded next year Carrier, Petrangelo a sixth and an eighth to you for Kreider, Markstrom a 14th and a 15th. So clearly selling off some pieces there.
yeah.
Um, and then before the deadline here, selling off again. So you traded away Seguin, Nylander, and an 11th for a sixth, Dano, and Talbot. So traded that to Nick, and the other one was to Patrick Ready to Rumble. So
Just
all
getting as many sixes as I could.
yeah, stocking up, right?
It was the only year I sold.
Yeah, I think the next couple of years are going to be interesting when we really picked up the trades more.
Do you have the Jonathan Quick Kachuk one?
No, I traded you Kachuk, and it was for like an 11th round pick or something. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
Quick wasn't even in it. I
I
think it
thought
was before. I think it might have been even before he was really relevant.
I was pretty sure I gave you quick in the deal. That's what it would cost you. It
Yeah, but it
was
might
like
have been
trade deadline or
another
whatever.
year. I think it might be further. How long have you had him as a keeper? I think it's only been a few years.
I
It's
got him. I
crazy.
got him from you in his rookie year. So it might have been
Hmm.
the year after.
It
Did I
wasn't very
sell
much.
2 years?
It wasn't
Did I
very
sell?
much you paid for him.
No,
11th
no.
out
It
of
was
14.
literally you wanted quick, and I said I like Kachuk.
Oh,
I was
I
selling.
don't,
I
I
was
don't, I
selling
don't
that year.
remember. I don't remember Quick being in it. But
Yeah.
oh, all right. What do we do now?
We're going to end part one, and then we'll come back and we'll do part two and talk about this week's matchups. Finally, something relevant to this season.
Oh,
We're boring the viewers here. No, it's always fun talking about hockey. I like the history of the league too, right? Going back to
oh,
see
yeah.
the value in things. Feel free, guys, to comment on any trades or anything that you thought were really relevant in the first 4 years. Maybe we'll do a review of the other 4 years at some point and just
See what we got.
see what we got. All right, we'll be back for part two.